Hello, welcome to this commentated Yunnie fight. This is a stable way to clear Yunnie with essentially a very recent account. So first, let's talk about the hero choice here. We know that Yunnie is weak to swords, and this account only has Lars or Wrath and Fior as sword users. So we'll have to do with them as DPS or damage dealers, and then we have Alfin and Theo to fill the other roles. Hasumi and Lynette, they can break shields with their fan attack, so they're good for this fight. Now for the Lars is a good choice because of the multi-hit attack. So, and for this strategy to work, we really want Lynette to be faster than Viola, and that's because we want her to swap in and buff these three dudes here before Viola comes in for the debuffs. And then Billy is here for the ultimate, so we need his ultimate to be level 10, so he only needs to act twice, one to charge and one to release the ultimate. So let's get to the fight itself, and I will comment every turn to explain what are the skill choices and why they matter here. So turn 1, we get into the fight. So this is a rather long fight, so we want to make sure that we set up our heals. And then this fight, we know that Yunnie is going to go ahead and inflict some paralysis, some annoying stuff, so we use Alfin's Rehabilitate at full boost, so we become immune to that. And since it's a long fight, we use Awakening and Pugnacity from Lars and Fior, so that next turn, when Lynette comes for the buff, they will get kept physical attack. Theo is the healer, the main healer. We need Alfin to heal in some turns. We'll get to that. And then we start with Theo in the back row because we want to trigger Lynette swap passive to extend the duration of Fior's passive physical attack up. So the first turn, it's a little bit of a no-brainer. Buff my dudes, get the healing going, become immune to paralysis, and keep going. So that's turn 1. Now turn 2. We want to make sure that we maximize the buffs and get a good duration on them with Lynette. So what we do here is we set up some extra defensive stuff. So we want Viola to anti-attack Yunnie, so we don't get hurt too bad. Also, the Ed inflicts defense down, so Hasumi's Guardian Bolero is gonna help us survive. In the meantime, we want, so if you look at the turn order, Lynette is going first, because we want to buff everyone before any other action takes place. This is really important because these guys currently in the front row are our damage dealers. So we get some extra defense with the Bolero, but that's just after Lynette cast her full front row buff. So we also need Alfin to heal here because Lynette and Hasumi, they don't have heal. They weren't there when Theo cast his. So even though Alfin is not the main healer, he's gonna have to do some healing, a little bit of healing in this fight. So this is turn 2. So Hasumi and Lynette didn't get hurt very bad here, but if they had been hit, they could die in the following turns. So it was important to have Alfin heal here. So now turn 3, what we want to do now, we want to start shaving those shields. So getting ready to break Yunnie. We need 2 breaks to kill her with the damage that this team can produce. So what we want to do is we want to break Yunnie first and leave the Ed very close to breaking, because his gimmick is when Yunnie is low on HP, he wants to explode. So we want to make sure that we can break him twice and prevent him from killing one of our guys. So what we're doing here is we're gonna use Lars to start hitting Yunnie We still want Theo to be the main healer, so he's casting his heal. Crumbling Cut, just shaving shields here, no big deal. Okay, next turn is turn 4. So note that Viola and Hasumi got paralyzed, so you can see from the symbol here, for 2 turns. So on turn 4 and 5, what we want to do to make this run stable is not even try to get them to act, because they might not, and that would be a wasted action. So these guys in the front row, you see they have this little syringe here, so they are immune to paralysis. So they can stay here in the front row for 2 turns. Turns 4 and 5. We'll just shave some shields here and get ready to break Yunnie for the first time. So that's turn 4. We do some damage, do some AoE, make sure to prepare the shields. Now on turn 5, we want to make sure that our rehabilitate stays, so that poison and other things don't surprise us. We also want Theo to keep the healing up, and in the meantime we're still going to shave some shields here. We want to make it so that Viola is the one faster than Yunnie, so we want to make sure that she's the one to come in and break. So we're trying to set up Yunie's shield at 2, if not at some point, so that Viola can come in and break. Now turn 6, let's see if there's something remarkable here. So on turn 6 we want to make sure that we set up some defenses here, because we are preparing to break, so we want to make sure that we maximize damage as well. So we want to debilitate, because it extends and maximizes the physical debuff. At the same time, we don't want to get destroyed here, so we cast the Guardian Bolero again, while letting Fior restore some of her SP. Now on turn 7, now we're gonna set up for the first break. So what we want to do is make sure we have the characters we need in front. Break Yunnie. Set up for the break next turn. Okay, now this turn, we see that Yunnie has 2 shields, but we don't want to risk her acting. We want someone of us to break first. So we're gonna have Viola break and go from there. We're gonna use Theo's AoE, so what we're trying here is to break Yunnie while setting up a low number of shields on the edge, so when he decides to explode we can break him and keep him like that. And since we're breaking Yunnie here, there's only the Ed attacking, so it's safe for Billy to come up and do the one action he needs to do to charge his ultimate. Now we're gonna do some nuking on Yunnie. And we can use Lars AoE to make sure that the Ed stays on 2 shields, so we can easily break him when he decides to explode. We also want to set up our party so that the front row is the one that gets Lynette's buff, because we are going to have to renew that before the end of the fight. So this turn we see that the Ed is ready to explode, so we need to break him. But that's very easily doable. We can do it with Lars while still breaking Yunnie. Oh, by the way, Lars needs SP regen for this fight, so I put a 10 SP regen item on him because his skills are very intensive in terms of SP. So now we're just start breaking Yunnie's shields again. Lars AoE is going to break the Ed, so we don't have to worry about that. You see, since all of our DPS are in the front row and we have the Brave Fan, we want, so Lynette's buff, it would last for 1 turn, then 2 turns, with the Brave Fan 3 turns. With the buff that we already have, this is enough to get to the end of the fight, so we don't need to buff more than that, and we need Lynette to help break shields later with the attack, so we can't really boost very much here. So doing some boosting, breaking some shields. Here's the turn we break the Ed. Now at this point we just wanna we have a free turn from the Ed, so we just wanna work on Yunnie's shields and set them low. Next turn we'll have to start working on breaking the Ed again to prevent him from exploding, but we'll worry about that then. At some point we need to find room to cast Lynette's and Billy's ult, so that setup is going to come when both the Ed and Yunnie's shields are low. That's coming up soon. So this turn we just shave some shields. Now these attacks were carefully thought so that Yunnie would stay at 5 shields, so that Lars 3 attack sword AoE would leave her at 2. And then at 2 shields, Viola can come in and break both the Ed and Yunnie at the same time. So now we have to make sure that we shave a lot of shields from the Ed, so next turn we can break both and then finish them both. So we want to make sure that all our damage dealers are in the front row this turn, because next turn we want to cast Lynette's buff. Lynette's ultimate, and we want her to buff all our damage dealers. And since she's the fastest, we need to make sure that by the end of this turn, everyone who deals damage is in the front row. So some shield shaving, almost kills Lynette there. I gave her a lot of HP items for this. Now, see, we have 2 shields, which is perfect for Viola to come in and break. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna buff all our damage dealers, and buff our damage dealers and debuff Yunnie with Billy, so that next turn we'll do a ton of damage and finish the fight. So we activate Lynette's ultimate. Actually Fior deals enough damage to kill the Ed this turn, so next turn we just worry about Yunnie. So here's the double break, Billy's trap, physical debuff, and now we just go nuts with damage. So all damage ultimates, Fel doesn't deal damage, but we just deal damage with everything. And that's one fight. That's one stable fight versus Yunnie. So this is the team composition. If you wanna take a look at it, you may wanna slow this down. So some man SP regen on Lars, some SP regen on Alphen, because Alphen stays in the front a lot and Lars uses a lot of SP. And that's the fight, and that's the stable clear. I've done this fight many times with this setup and succeeded a lot. Thank you for watching this.